Dog with Nothing But Dirt. And Philip right here, he's getting his chug on real quick. We're back out in the shop working on the SB2 and the modified. Just finished up cleaning up the headers, getting the silicone off of them and all. And I'm glad Mr. Larry's good with the torch, because we had to torch the collectors off from how just rusted and smashed they were. But got the heads cleaned up. I rotated the motor over a couple times and made sure none of the rings were stuck or anything like that, because I'd hate to crack a ring. But I sprayed a little bit of some, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this, but it's thrust penetrating oil. That's the best stuff there is. The only place I know you can get it is B&L Auto Parts, which is Mr. Larry and Miss Brenda's parts store up the road. And man, that's my favorite stuff. Mr. Larry got me on that stuff probably about almost 2 years now ago, and that's some of the best penetrating oil you ever use. But we're gonna throw the headers up here real quick. I didn't want to put anything out there about cleaning them up, because man, it took forever because they were using silicone. That's what I'm going to use, and hopefully it'll be all right. But we're going to get back to work, and hopefully it'll cool down here in a minute. My tandem pumps came in today, and still waiting on the bell housing, starter, and all that stuff. So we'll hopefully get that in tomorrow, and the radiator, and maybe we can fire this thing off. But anyhow, we're going to get back to work and bring y'all with us. Alright guys, headers are on. They kind of beat my tail a little bit. This one over here, kind of close, you know. But I'm going to see if I can't maybe bend it out a little bit. I think that header might have been shoved. I don't have the other piece to it. I don't know if I put it in any of these other videos, but it was pretty smashed. Fella got doored that was running them. So we're going to work with what we got. I haven't been able to find any SB2 headers for a shawl so far. See what I can't do in the future, because it's probably going to be about another $1,000 to spend on headers, you know. But we're going to work with what we got, and, you know, it's all about being a low-budget team. Is you got to sometimes take someone else's junk and make it your treasure. And I'm all for it, but I'm extremely happy to have this thing in the car and about ready to fire off. I got to do a little wiring for the distributor. Somebody changed the plug from the regular MSD style connector to like a GM watertight connector. So I'm going to have to change that over, which ain't no big deal. I went up to Mr. Larry's parts store up the road and got me a couple connectors. So we'll get that done. And when the bell housing and starter and flywheel and all that get here, we'll be able to fire this thing off. I think we'll make sure I get some water in it before I fire it off. Got some an oil change for it. I'm gonna run the VR1 in it. Talked to a couple of different people, and they said that's what they'd run, so we're gonna go with it. But it's what I used to run in my little 4-cylinder motors. But just little odds and ends now. Still got to order the belts to drive the pulleys on the back, which I'll probably do tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to use the 600-20 HD and go ahead and get 2 of them, so we got a spare on the hauler. But this is a big difference in motor compared to the old crate motor. The thing's a whole lot bigger. It's a whole lot wider in there, and his headers are tight on that daggone steering shaft, but I think they'll be all right. Shout out to Kyle Wingard, one of the RTR guys. He's out in Oklahoma, but he actually sent me his spare starter, and he's going to let me borrow it until I can get one of my own, just in case I couldn't find one in time. So thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. And tell your little girl I said what's up. Hope she enjoyed that hero card I sent out to y'all. But he also did a solid for me. I found some tires, some M30s. We can't find them over here on the East Coast anywhere. So I found some out in Oklahoma that had some for sale, and Kyle went and picked them up, drove an hour and a half, and picked them up, and then he shipped them to me. So I appreciate that, man. You don't understand how much of a help that was just in itself. Guys, we got some parts in, and hopefully we can get the back of this motor together, get these belts on order. Got the pumps in yesterday. I got to figure out how to plumb all this stuff. I think we'll have to run a return to the fuel cell and figure out how to regulate the fuel pressure, all that kind of stuff. But parts are in, about to unbox it. There's my hottie as a wife. Got Max out here. And my best friend, Loli. Well, guys, ran into more problems. The radiator has the wrong fitting down for here. I need to get an AN fitting and hose because the thermostat housing I had on it was pointing directly into the fan, so it wouldn't work. As you can see down here, right there on the front of the crank, the oil pump pulley with the current fan spacer, the fan's gonna hit. And I gotta get all the hoses and all. I gotta run a return line back to the rear. Still gotta mount the oil filter. Gotta cut out to mount the grill Jamin made. Well, guys, huge shout out to Four Boys Racing Supply. They had, I'm pretty sure, everything we needed. I'm headed up there right now. They're gonna wait around for me. But just want to say thank you to them for working with me on getting up here. They're a little ways away from the house. They're in Oxford, so it's a decent little drive. Hopefully the rest of the stuff we need to get this bad girl started this weekend and ready for our trip down to Volusia. That being said, we are going to go down to Volusia and run on the 4th of September. I'm all for the trip, and I think it'd be a pretty decent track to open this motor up on for the first time. But anyhow, we'll get back to y'all when we get back to the shop. Jamin's gonna come over and help finish up as much as we can tonight, and then tomorrow we should be able to knock near about everything out. And then Saturday afternoon I'll have Mr. Larry come and give me a hand adjusting the valves and all that kind of good stuff, setting the timing and making sure everything's spot on before we try to fire the motor off. But anyhow, see y'all in a minute. We headed back to the house now. We should have everything we need for getting this old girl started. And I need to name it. I think her name's gonna be Gold Digger, because man, if she ain't running me dry. But a few $100s later, I think we got everything we need. We ain't got a starter. Got all the fuel lines, so we can plumb a return and plumb off the pump up to the carburetor. And we got to run a feed line from the reservoir for the power steering to the pump. And then just little odds and ends like MSD box chips and the rev limiter chips, and you know, all the stuff that you don't think about that you're gonna have to need. I think all we're gonna be missing is a couple plugs for the radiator, where they have it on the tank where you can put your cine units and all that kind of stuff for your water temperature and your water pressure if you run it. But I just run mine at the intake like a regular person. I don't know why they gotta make stuff fancy and all that. I think they just do it to make more money off of it. But I think we gotta pick those up sometime tomorrow, and I gotta get one more bell housing bolt, and I gotta get an Allen head for the one that goes behind the starter on this reverse mount stuff. The one I had at the house about ½ inch too short, so it would catch threads, but not nearly enough. It only caught about a couple threads. I want to do it right, so we'll pick that up tomorrow. We got to go pick up some tires tomorrow. They should be at the FedEx and Hope Mills, and we're gonna try to get a little work done tonight, but it's gonna be near about 9 o'clock when I get home. All my help's probably gonna be ready to go home, but we're gonna see what we can do. That being said, we'll pick y'all back up when we get to the house. Got old Mr. Larry over here and Jamin. They're putting the starter on. We're about to adjust the valve. We'll put y'all on a little bit of time lapse for that. It's nice to have a little bit of help. About the 10th time Mr. Larry's dropped the bolt or nut. Ready? Alright guys, after a long week and some help from Jamin and Mr. Larry, very nice to have their help, and then Dad come down here this morning. We got it buttoned up, and of course the crew chief down here and the old lady keeping me fed. We got this new motor fired up, and we're gonna need some headers soon. It's blowing so much compression, this thing, it's just blowing holes in the headers. But anyhow, we're ready for going down to Volusia. Ryan and I, we're going to go down there. We're going to have a pretty good time. I think we're going to head down there Friday night. Try to get Mama and Daddy to come with us. I need my old fart to come down there and help me out, you know. It's hard to do this stuff on your own. Especially now with everything going on with this new motor and all. It's something else. But we got the carburetor tuned out, idle set, and all that kind of good stuff. My tack quit working, so I need to look into getting another one of those. It's always something with this thing, but everything seems to be doing right. I let it run for about 45 minutes and get a little heat in it, but we're ready. I'm gonna have to figure out how to calm down my right foot a little bit, but anyhow, if anybody's local down in Florida, or y'all want to come out and meet Ryan and I, we're gonna be down there, and we encourage y'all to come out and support the track. And you know, even if y'all don't go to Volusia, go support some type of racetrack, whether it's your home track, my home track, whatever. But we're gonna end this video off right here, and we'll be back with pretty exciting news, and I'd say a pretty big announcement. It's pretty big, but we'll see y'all Tuesday. And don't forget to go get you a t-shirt. You won't never see another t-shirt for racing with a bus on the back of it. So go help us out, and that's just the way y'all can help support the racing team, and you know, keep us going, as well as all the. I mean, I've had a couple people. They sent some donations for the deck deal, for the breast cancer awareness thing I'm trying to do with the ribbons on the deck. So don't forget to do that. And you know, I was thinking about it, maybe like every $10 you spend or, you know, send, or maybe every $5 you send, that's how many ribbons we'll put on the deck, just to, because I want to fill the deck up, you guys. I want to really show support for it, because I know what it does to the victims of it, and what it does to them mentally and physically, and it's pretty rough. But I wanna try to help them, you know, as much as I can, you know, emotionally, and just show them that they got people supporting them and standing behind them. But don't forget to do that. T-shirts, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And I appreciate y'all that are watching, and all the views that we're getting. It's awesome. I'm trying to make this thing grow as much as I can, and hopefully, you know, jumping up and running with these big boys, maybe we can make a little noise. I think we'll be all right. Shot game is a little bit off, but we're gonna try to work on that as well. But anyhow, we're gonna get off here and finish eating lunch, and then I think Autumn and I are gonna go up to a rodeo up in Raleigh with Ryan and Kayla. So we'll check y'all later.